So let's see, what are these emerging technologies, what are the types of it, and what's its application in teaching and
They
learning.
are artificial intelligence and its associated applications or associated subdomains, machine learning and deep learning. Also, extended reality, which are the mix of augmented reality and virtual reality, as well as also some of these applications, the 3D printing, robotics, cloud computing, adaptive learning technologies, personalized learning, Internet of Things, big data, and learning analytics tools. So let's first start with the artificial intelligence. The concept of what defines artificial intelligence has changed over time, but at the core there has always been the idea of building machines which are capable of thinking like humans. And AI has already been applied to education, primarily in some tools that help developing skills and testing system. However, nowadays, AI is used as a part of educational services, and also it's used to improve the curriculum design. The overarching purpose of the artificial intelligence is to simplify human effort or to simplify teaching and learning practices to help making better decisions to improve the performance in different aspects to improve the quality of education by using several applications. These applications, like for example, it provides the instructor the ability to provide feedback on student work, and also some of these applications like virtual teaching assistant applications. Also, there are applications for refining language transitions, and also there are applications that improve access for students with disabilities such as the visual or hearing disabilities. And also there are applications is used to measure students' performance and to generate customized adaptive learning pathways for each student based on their level of the learning performance, based on their needs, based on their preference. There are subdomains for the artificial intelligence. So in order to understand how does artificial intelligence work, we need to understand these subdomains. These subdomains are the deep learning, natural language processing, machine learning, neural networks, and the computer vision. Let's see. First of all, the deep learning, it teaches the machine how to process inputs and then to classify, infer, and to predict the outcome. Natural language processing is the application of computational linguistics to build real-world applications. Here, by this subdomain, we are trying to teach a computer how to learn languages, and then we expect it to understand it with suitable, efficient algorithm. And the best example of this natural language processing is Grammarly. Machine learning, it teaches the machine how to make inferences and decisions based on the data without having to involve any human experiences. And the common application for machine learning is the application Siri. Neural networks, it works similar to the principles of a human neural cells. They are a series of algorithms that captures the relationship between various underlying variables and processes that data as a human brain does. And then computer vision is it tries to understand the image by breaking it down into parts, and then it will classify and learn from these sets of parts of the image to make a better output or a better decision. Cognitive computers, it tries to mimic the human brain by analyzing the text, speech, images, or objects in a manner that a human does and tries to give the desired output and the right decision. And also, before we move to the applications of the artificial intelligence, we need to understand what are the relationship between the artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. As we can see, the first notion or concept that has emerged is the artificial intelligence, and then machine learning in 2006, and then deep learning in 2017. But what is the relationship between all these subdomains? Let's see. As we can see, artificial intelligence is the umbrella of these domains, and then subdomain is the deep learning is the subdomain from machine learning, and machine learning is subdomain from the artificial intelligence. Let's move now to the application of the artificial intelligence in education. Penn State University is a great university, and it's did a huge effort in utilizing AI in humanizing the teaching. One of the applications that it has created is using AI for ideation. She built an application is called Eureka. Eureka is a tool that helps educators to search for a certain concept. Then Eureka returns this result. The educators select the result that best reflect the ideas they want to highlight within that concept. This teaches Eureka to refine its original definitions of the idea. So in the future, this will lead to a streamlined result and more relevant information for the instructors. Another example is using AI for design. Also, Penn State University developed an application called Box. So Box is a tool that helps educators to create an open textbook by grabbing different open educational resources from open digital repository. For example, from Open Book Repository, from Open Access Textbook, from Wikipedia, from Wiki, Open Books, and so on. So this will provide instructors to replace the commercial textbook that are very expensive and also not up to date, with updated textbook and also a free textbook. This is also one example. Another example is that using AI for assessment. Also, the Penn State University developed or create an application is called Inquisitive. It helps educators, either professors at the university or teachers in K-12 schools, to create quizzes, tests, and exams. How it works: Inquisitive takes the supplied text and identifies key concept words and phrases from the textbook itself to construct an assessment. Creating assessment, I guess, is the most task that educators struggle from. For example, this Sparrow joked, said, "If I could just teach without having to grade it, it would be an ideal word." Let's take another application of the artificial intelligence, which is the Alexa education skill. Amazon integrated the Alexa skills into their education technology services. And the Alexa education skills targeted the students from 13 years and above, and it enables them to ask Alexa questions about their homework assignments and about their reports, for example, and also allow parents to check in with their teachers about their child's grades, their behavior, using the Alexa devices. So how the Alexa skills work? It incorporated into the learning management system, which like Moodle, for example, now we are using at Sultan Qaboos University, or in the student information system, like the educational portal at the Ministry of Education, or for example, like a Google Classroom or MOOCs platform. Students and parents will be able to extract information from multiple skills at the same time by only making one request. For example, this is students. The students will speak, and then it will send this request to the Alexa devices. In the Alexa devices, there are two models: the skill interaction model and the skill application logic. In the skill interaction model, here the request will be determined and then will be sent to the skill application logic where the action will be proceed. and then the responses will be sent to the user, either the student or the parent. So a parent and the students can ask about their course information. For example, maybe students ask, Alexa, do I have any homework? Alexa, what homework is due this week? Or maybe parents can ask about their child homework. Alexa, does Hannah have any school update? So they need to know any updates of the school, and also if they want to know any updates about the grades and their learning reports. And now many learning management systems incorporated the Alexa education skills like Canvas, Blackboard, and Coursera. Let's now have an example of the application of AI and machine learning. The common examples of AI and machine learning is the chatbot, which is a conversational piece of software powered by pre-programmed responses to answer questions without the need of a human operator. And it takes several notions. It can be called interactive agent, virtual assistant, and conversational interface. An example of the chatbot, for example, the Northwestern University integrated a chatbot into its LMS to answer questions that received from students and faculty about all the services that have been that are done in the LMS, like any information about the courses, about their enrollment, about the due date of the assignments, and so on. Another example is that the University of Oklahoma also incorporated the chatbot into its library system. So faculty and students can ask questions that related to library services. Also, another example of incorporating AI and machine learning in education is that using these techniques or creating applications to predict low-performing students. For example, the Penn State University and the University of California created or using the machine learning algorithm to predict the students' grade performance even before the course begins. And what this predictive result assists university administration in identifying students who might present with lower than average academic risk. So they need to support them, they need to help them in order to increase their learning progress. If we can see from this diagram, this is the test data set, and this is the prediction of the students who are at risk and who are not at risk, and then based and according to this result, the intervention will be developed in order to support the students' learning. Now, let's have a look at the deep learning. Deep learning is a cutting-edge area of the artificial intelligence, and it imitates the workings of the human brain in processing data and creating patterns for use in decision making. It can be called also like virtual assistant, recognizing speech, translating languages, and making decisions. How it works? It works by using the big data, by grabbing or compiling the big data from different resources, such as from social media, internet search engines, e-commerce platforms, even from the digital cinema, etc. And also can be shared through the cloud computing. So this big data can be used in order to make a better decision. The common example of deep learning with machine learning is the Microsoft Translator. Microsoft Translator is a online conversational application for language translation, and it can translate 87 languages with 12 speeches. For example, the public school in North Carolina using Microsoft Translator to improve language options for parents and students. So students users can join online for conversation. You select your language and then select to to which language you want to translate your message or your text or your voice. So for example, in United States, may they use Microsoft Translator to improve students' English language from Spanish to English. So this will help them in order to improve their language. And now Microsoft Translated is incorporated into different applications and search engine like Internet Explorer, Microsoft Skype, Microsoft Edge, and another example is the language processing from Google Assistant Speech that AI enable users to use spoken commands and then translate it to action. Another example is that YouTube recommendation. So YouTube provide better video recommendation by studying viewers' habits and preferences as they stream content and working out what would keep them tuned in. For example, if you are watching a video and then at the end of this video, the data that's suggesting videos that viewers might want to watch next would keep them. So how will the fourth industrial revolution affect you? So as we mentioned before, it affects everyone. It affects how we communicate to each other, how we go about our daily lives, and also this also means that we need to be able to accept and to adapt the change that the revolution will bring. So now let's move to the next generation digital learning environment as the most influential emerging technology in education. So do you think, is it possible to integrate external learning tools to your organization's LMS without only one sign-in? Is it able to have the best of both a networked learning environment and an adaptive learning model implemented in the same system? Let's see what the fourth industrial revolution offers for us. For example, the next generation digital learning environment is creating a transformation shift in how institutions architect their learning ecosystem for learners and instructors. And it's known that all educators are looking for open standards in education, in educational technology applications. So it will enable them to have more flexible learning experiences to more students, either synchronously or asynchronously. Also, this agility provided the learners and instructors alike the opportunity to think out of the box and to reconceptualize their approaches to education. And also will shape and improve the teaching and learning practices in a way that is best fit our new generation. So as we know now, all educational institutions adopt a learning management system. However, they are using it in its traditional role in administrative ability. However, this next generation digital learning environment provides or improve the learning management system functionality by enabling or allowing incorporating a variety of learning tools, applications, and softwares within this LMS in order to create an ecosystem or like a comprehensive learning environment. Let's see how this can be done. For example, in any learning management system, by adopting the next generation digital learning environment techniques or algorithm, so you can now incorporate any e-textbook to your LMS, podcast recording, group collaboration, and team activities. Also, you can add any audio or screen readers. You can also add any other tools like a smartboard, like course builder, and also quizzes, online grading, multimedia discussion boards, interactive labs in your learning management system. And this will enable you as users or students, instructors, and administrators to access an ecosystem with only one single sign-on It will be integrated within the digital curriculum tools, with assessment tools, and with the different learning apps without no any restriction. So how does this next generation digital learning environment work? It works by incorporating the learning tools interoperability into this LMS. It's enable users to easily plug and play a variety of external tools, content, and activities available online into learning management system with only one sign-in. And now it's available in Blackboard, Canvas, and Moodle. Let's see, for example, this is the learning management system, and this is the learning tools. And here are the LTI advantage. So this algorithm or these techniques enable the data to be connect and exchange between the LMS and the learning tools within the learning environment to create an ecosystem of for the educational system in that organization. So what are the domains of the core functionality of the next generation digital learning? They are the interoperability and integration, so it easily shares data across the platforms. Personalization would allow to personalize learning activities for individual users based on their level of learning performance, based on their needs. Also, it incorporates analytics, advising and learning assessment, collaboration, accessibility, and universal design to optimize the learning management system to be accessed by students across various devices without any restrictions. For example, the University of Wisconsin incorporated the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra into the Canvas LMS without any restriction, and also George Mason University incorporated WordPress as a group collaboration and team activities into the Blackboard LMS. Now, let's move to the learning analytics tools. Why do people keep talking about big data? Why? What its impact in education and how it does work? Let's see. What is the learning analytics? Learning analytics is about collecting data and the traces that learners leave behind and using these traces and this data to improve learning. How does it work? Let's see. And what is the common use of learning analytics? For example, there are different models, but this is the most common models, Gartner, which developed in 2013. Here we can see this is the difficulty and this is the value. So what is these tools can work? First of all, it provides a descriptive analytics of what happened in the learning process, and then it provides a diagnostic analytics of why did it happen, and then it provides predictive analytics of what will happen next, and then it will provide prescriptive analytics. How can we make it happen? How we can improve students' learning? How we can fill in the gaps in the learning among the students, and so on. And one example of the learning analytics in practice are the University of California Compass, which is used by educators and counselors in order to support the students in increasing their learning performance. For example, this is the data extracted from the database or from the learning management system. These learning analytics tools provide reports. It will analyze that report in order to predict the actions and provide how this will be happen in order to achieve the desired outcome. And this is also another example by the University of Maryland. It developed developed an application called Nudge, and this is enhance the ability to support the students through tutoring or advising. If we can see from the slide here, these are the analysis of the students throughout the semester in a specific course, and what are the course skills, what are the students' skills that are required or acquired or mastered from this course, and what are the gaps that the students need to fill in and to recover and catch up among their students. And now let's move to another application of the fourth industrial revolution, which is the adaptive learning technologies. Adaptive learning is the technique is used to provide or to support personalized learning, which aims to provide customized learning paths to engage each students in a certain learning activities according to their needs and according to their learning performance. So adaptive learning system use a data-driven, and in some cases it will be non-linear based on the students' performance. One example of the adaptive learning technologies is the Newton. In Newton is where teaching methods and materials change to match each student's pace. For example, students can be set challenges through apps and websites, and they can work at their own pace. For example, this is where students can work, and according to their level, the technology in Newton itself will set their path in order to work on their own pace and to increase their learning performance in a specific skill or in specific content. This is another example which is called the Scoot Pad. The Scoot Pad is like it's have different automation. For example, students can access this app by himself, and then the system according to his level can change or can create the learning path for the students. Or also there is a flexibility or and ability for teachers or educators to set the path for their children and then provide scaffolding for them at any time in the learning process, and then they provide them an automatic assessment. Based on the studies, there is an evidence that the Scoot Pad is effective in increasing students' learning performance in United States by 21% in English and 7% in math. Now let's move to the personalized learning. Personalized learning is not a technology, and most people sometimes get confused between the adaptive learning technologies and personalized learning. So the adaptive learning technologies is the technology itself. However, personalized learning is the strategy that will be made by the instructor in order to support the students in increasing their learning performance and to move to be at the risk. So what is the personalization? Personalization is design and how AI technology can support personalized learning. So when AI technology is incorporated into any machine learning, so it design a customized learning profile for each individual students and will be tailored their training materials based on the students' ability and experiences on an individual basis. So this is about the personalized learning. And personalized learning also, it's defined as an educational approach that aims to customize learning for each student's strength, needs, skills, and interests. And now let's move to the cloud computing in practices. Cloud computing services cover a vast range of options, and nowadays it's more developed, so it can be a storage, it can be networking, processing power, through natural language processing and artificial intelligence. For example, and here is the users can work from anywhere. They don't need to be close to the servers, and here within the cloud computing there is the application, there are several platforms, there are the infrastructure, there are the communication apps, there are the content databases, and so on. So it is compiled in one place where users can access to it anytime from anywhere. So, what is the value of cloud computing in education? Students, teachers, and the administration alike can access to these facilities anywhere. Also, allow students access to homework wherever they are. There is an internet connection. Teacher also they can upload learning materials at any time. Also, the administrators can easily collaborate with one another and save money on data and on data storage. And this is one example of the cloud computing, which is the Google Cloud Platforms, which has many service and also many features. For example, here it's cost effective and it's used by many users and many organizations around the world. It's incorporated AI and machine learning, and also it incorporated the big data and learning analytics, Internet of Things, and there are many features in the Google Cloud platform. And another example of the cloud computing is the Microsoft, which is Office 365 education. So in this office, you will find all apps and all contents that are related to Microsoft within one place in cloud computing. Another application of the fourth industrial revolution, it's common among all of us, which is robotics. Robotics is a branch of the subject that deals with science and math, engineering, electrical, computer science, and others. And it's expected within the next 10 years, teaching robots will be able to read even children's face expression and maybe even their brains to analyze and adapt on how their learning is proceeding. Also, AI tutor and robots will be with the students during all the years that they are in school, and sometimes, or I can say there is a debate among educators and experts in education field is that robot can replace teacher in the future. Personally, I don't think so. However, let's see what are the study will expect and will prove. And also it's expected that robots will get to know the students very well, better enabling them to provide inspiration, motivation, and personalized learning. Let's move now to the application of the Internet of Things in practice. Also, there are many studies, research, blogs, articles about the Internet of Things. But what Internet of Things provide us in education and how it can affect teaching and learning practices? Let's see this example as for example, the scanner maker. A scanner maker, users can quickly scan editable text from books, papers, or other documents directly into a phone, and even it can be translated into 40 languages, and even you can listen to the text while you are scanned. Let's see how this can work. Let's see how we can use the Internet of Things in Scan Maker. See, you can scan. As you can see, you can scan not only the whole book, but maybe you want only to scan just specific lines or specific texts. So this is an example of the Internet of Things. Let's move to another. So I will leave the extended reality because I will give you another recording sessions about the extended reality with its application. Let's take now the application of 3D printing in education. Also, it's 3D printing. It's maybe has emerged since 5 years, and the 3D printers work by printing objects. Instead of using ink, it uses more substantive materials, plastics, metal, rubber, and these minerals. So you scan the object or take an existing scan of an object and slice it into the layers. It can then convert into a physical object. So how can it use into application into education? For example, in biology, you can scan the parts of the heart and then print it by using 3D printing. So students can learn by using an object of the heart. And then also in the chemistry, they can print out the molecules to study it. And also they can print some parts of the machines like cars or maybe like motorcycle and so on. And also the art teachers also, they can scan any object and then print it by using the 3D printing. And the most effective use of 3D printing is in geography and history. So they can, for example, this is if there is a map with volcanoes sites, so they can print the map. It will show them how the area looks like with the volcano. And also here in the history, they can print the artifacts that are used for example for war in the past, based on the past history of the country. And these are the examples of the 3D printing. Let's talk now about the key trends that are driving the adoption of emerging technology in education. First of all, we need to rethink how school will work in the future, and we need to move from traditional classroom paradigm to the constructivism paradigm. And also we need to shift to deeper learning approaches. We need to combine skills of the standardized testing with soft skills such as the communication, collaboration, self-directed learning, self-regulation, and so on. And also we need to increase collaborative learning approaches. So we need to exchange ideas, to learn from each other. And we need to focus on students as educators more as consumers. And also we need to increase the use of blended learning and to think out of the box and to be innovative in designing our curriculum. Also the rise of STEAM, which is the science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics curriculum. We need to focus or to move from focusing on teaching the system as a subject to teaching is at skills. So our new generation, our students, our children need to have the STEM skills more than teaching them as a subject. And there is a call to action. So individuals must be trained to have the learning agility, the ability to learn, ability to adapt in quick cycles throughout their entire life. So today's students will be practicing mostly microcycles. So maybe in the future, they should be prepared to have 10 or 12 different careers during their working lives. So now, after we have learned about the application of the fourth industrial revolution, I need you to think, and from your point of view, what technology holds the most promise to positively impact teaching and learning over the next 3 years? Is it mobile learning? Is it open educational resources? Is it 3D printing? It's artificial intelligence? It's adaptive learning, assistive technology, and there are many. So think about it, and from point of view in the chat, in the Google Classroom, please write for me your answer. So this is the presentation for today's class. I hope it's informative and useful. So please prepare if you have any questions to ask and to discuss in next class on Monday next week. Have a great weekend and bye-bye. Ma salama.